It's that thing, and you always want to look at it, but you're not allowed to. Oh my gosh. Good question.
Angourie, we know you, well, audiences of TV and film are getting to know you better and better each year, from what the Nice Guys to Spider-Man and Black Mirror and Mayor of Easttown and Senior Year and now Honour Society. But first and foremost, you are an Australian, so how are you feeling about Neighbours ending?
Great question.
It's coming up. I mean, we can't avoid it.
That only a Brit or an Australian would ask. I love it. Yeah, sad. I mean, the end of an iconic show, I must say.
Let's get on to Honour Society then. Your character in this is incredibly sort of driven, has a single focus. But looking at Wikipedia, you've had something like 14 movies and 6 TV shows by the age of like 21. So how much of that is being are you a workaholic like your character? Like, how much of that is serendipitous and how much of that is your own kind of singular drive?
I mean, look, I think there are many similarities between me and Honour. I was similar to her in high school, not as ruthless, I think. What I like about Honour is that I saw a lot of myself in her, and many parts of myself that I don't really want to kind of acknowledge, like competitiveness, and kind of that confidence that that you can do something. You know, these things are things that I was a bit insecure and not super confident, and felt like being competitive was not a good look. So what I liked about Honour is that I saw a lot of myself in her, and these parts that I often like pushed down. So it was cool to explore that in a character.
I really enjoyed like the vibe of the movie with all the kind of the breaking of the fourth wall, because it took me back to a lot of my favourite movies kind of growing up, from like was it Election with Reese Witherspoon and a little bit of like Cruel Intentions in there, and a bit of Clueless. Like, were any films like that which you would prefer it to be compared to? Were any of those kind of your favourites, or things that you might have watched back on to kind of get into the vibe of this film?
All of those I watched in preparation, and I rewatched Ferris Bueller's Day Off as well. And yeah, I mean, all of those movies. Election was a huge inspiration for us. I love Reese Witherspoon's character in it. I think she's so clever, and it's just so interesting to see her, because you love her and you hate her at the same time. It's like you want her to win, but also, so I think I felt similarly about Honour, that she's so kind of charming, and it's that thing of like, she makes a lot of questionable decisions, but the audience is still with her along the way. So I loved that. And yeah, I mean, what an easy research process, just watching Clueless and Election. And
there's a worse way to make a living. How difficult is that though? I've always wondered about kind of breaking the fourth wall, because when you watch it as an audience member, especially when you're younger, you kind of just take it as a fun plot device. But the more I think about it as I get older, it must be quite a specific skill as an actor, because you are, even though you're the same character, you know, directing yourself to the audience, you are dropping character in that moment. And is that hard when you're in a bit of a flow when talking to, you know, another actor as in a scene?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I was so excited to get to look at the camera, because you never get to. It's just like, it's that thing, and you always want to look at it, but you're not allowed to. So it was very exciting to do that. And also what I like about the movie is that there are all these layers of pretending. So obviously I'm pretending to be Honour, and then Honour is pretending to be one person with her friends and family, and then she's a different person with the camera. So I like these layers of putting on a show and performance, and I think that's a theme in the movie as a whole as well, performance and pretending to be something you're not. So there was definitely, me and Oran, the director, figured out this kind of what that shift would be when you see Honour talking to her friends versus when she's talking to the camera. And yeah, that was really fun to play around with.
Speaking of putting on a show, you weren't alone in the process. Of course, you're working very closely with Gaten Matarazzo, as we all know and love from Stranger Things. I don't want to talk too much about Stranger Things because I still haven't seen the last episode, and I'm like, I keep seeing memes that suggesting kind of spoilers, and it's killing me. I'm gonna watch it tonight. But like, how was that for you guys working together? Obviously, you're involved in the MCU, and he's involved in Stranger Things. When you're like filming something like this, is it hard not to kind of pick away and just like, so what's happening next week? What's going to happen next week?
It's funny you say that. I loved working with Gaten, actually. It was just the best. He's got so much energy. He brings so much commitment to set every day. Every day he's like, yeah, I'm happy to be here, excited to be here. Like, let's get to work. What's happening? And just constant energy the whole day, which is just the best. That's the energy you want to be around on set when you're at work. And if it's a long day, or if you're feeling a bit tired, and then he just always came in with just fun and humor and wit, which is fantastic. And I loved playing opposite him as well, because Michael Dipnicki as a character is I love his relationship with Honor, and I love their dynamic and how she feels like he's the first person who actually sees through her facade, which is quite intense for her. So it was great to play around with that.
And very, very quickly before they took me off, you create a lot of happy accidents in this movie, some kind of good deeds that come along that might not have been your intention. I just wondered, what's the happiest accident that's happened to you in your life?
Oh my gosh, good question.
This will be one that we get cut out halfway through, and we'll never know.
Oh, happy accident. Okay, being in the right place at the right time to be in The Nice Guys, maybe, because that was my first American movie, and that script had been around for years, and
that movie is so good.
It was a happy accident that they just decided to make it when I was the right age. So.
Well, I'm glad they did. I also hope they do a sequel of that one day. Thank you very much. Hope people see this movie. I thought it was great, and I wish you all the best with it.